Now, Roman versus Jay is fine. But my question for you is, why not Jimmy Uso? We've seen Roman Reigns versus Jay Uso already, right? But we haven't seen Roman versus Jimmy. And like naturally you would think, right? Triple H would think, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. Roman versus Jimmy is a fresh storyline. This is a way to progress this bloodline storyline, the greatest storyline in the history of pro wrestling, according to some, and the best of the modern era, according to most. Why not, right? I'll tell you why they're not doing Roman versus Jimmy. Jimmy Uso is a liability to WWE. Jimmy Uso cannot be in the main event scene. What are they going to have a drunk in the main event scene? Like, is that what they're going to do? Think about it. Think about this. We've seen it before. WWE's been burned many times, you know? You put Jeff Hardy in a big spot. He's supposed to win the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 24. What does he do? He disappoints an 11-year-old me. He can't stop doing drugs. He's suspended. They shoe in your guy, CM Punk, who clearly wasn't ready for Money in the Bank, right? Jimmy Uso he's just a liability. How can WWE build a SummerSlam marquee main event match around a guy that has, 5 DUIs? Like, what? Imagine this, right? Roman Reigns, he's building up to this match, right? Building up, Jimmy Uso's out there crying, we got Roman versus Jimmy on the go-home edition of SummerSlam, right? Having a promo off. And then boom, Wednesday, headlines come. TMZ, WWE wrestler, DUI. Imagine. Can you believe that, pal? I think it's fair. I don't know. Like, I can't be the only one that's thinking this. Like, why are they doing Roman versus Jay again? Why not Jimmy? That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. No, you bang on. You bang on. And the thing with Jimmy Uso is quite literally whenever he'd be in any storyline, because it's 4 DUIs or 5. Definitely 4. It's definitely 4. I don't know if it's 5. And a guy like that cannot be trusted in a main event space. So, you've nailed it at that point. And I've wondered that myself as well. Because, yes, Roman versus Jey Uso is the logical story. It makes sense given what they've been telling. We did just see Jay pin Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank, though. So has he got one over once and for all? It depends sort of how much revenge he wants. Does he wants to take the title, I guess, is what they're going to tell us on SmackDown. And that's what it's going to set it up. But yeah, to me, Jimmy Uso versus Roman is the fresh matchup. That's the matchup I want to see more. We haven't seen that yet. We saw Jimmy Uso nearly 3 years ago in those Jey Uso Roman Reigns battles. Jimmy would come down, snap at Roman, how dare you, Uso, what's happened to you? He was an integral piece of this. Obviously, he's Jay's brother and the whole family dynamic. So, yeah, but as you say, can you put a guy with that many DUIs in a big-time marquee SummerSlam main event? What's to say you won't get a DUI before the SummerSlam main event? Like, who knows? If you put him in a singles one-on-one match, it's one thing in a tag team because I guess he feels more accountable to his tag team partner, like with WrestleMania, that he wouldn't want to stuff that up. But when it's just him, I mean, who knows? So...
Yeah, I mean, that would be something. But no, if I remember correctly, Jimmy was the one that super kicked Roman first, right? At the prior pay-per-view?
I think so. Yeah, Jimmy's been a big part of the last 2 months. He's been really amping up the story, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was thinking this and I was like, wait, why are we getting Roman versus Jay again? And then I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, no, they can't put him in a big spot. They can't trust him. Is he WWE's biggest liability right now from that standpoint?
Oh, that's a scorching one. Because Jeff Hardy's in AEW, so it's not him. Jimmy, I mean, given the DUI track record, he'd have to be up there. I mean, who else would we be counting as a big liability in that regard? Like, who else just can't be trusted in a main event spot? Are we counting injuries as well? As in they get pushed and they get injured as well? Are we counting, bad behavior off track? I guess that's really the main thing. And I mean, Jimmy Uso's DUI history and his police record is more enough proof that you need, Kevin.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much fair. But yeah, pal. All right. So, anything else you want to say about this SummerSlam situation for the Tribal Chief, pal?
I will say this. Just one thing on Money in the Bank with Roman Reigns getting pinned. I want your thoughts on this.